My name's Jack and today we're going to be doing some crafting with my colleague Angela, and we work at the Hartlepool Hubs. We're going to make a birdhouse today. One using some popsicle sticks or out of a recyclable juice carton, which Angela's going to be showing you how to do. This is one that we've made earlier. This is a more advanced one, so if you're feeling a little bit ambitious, you could give that a go. You can find the instructions and some finished pictures on the internet. We're not going to do that one today because it does take a little bit more time. Today we're going to focus on this one, which is made out of popsicle sticks, which you can put a little porch on for the dicky birds and put some yarn or something so you can hang it up from a tree branch.
And we're going to be making an owl bird feeder. So this is just out of a used juice container. The only thing we need before you start, you need to seal your bottle with some PVA just so that your paint sticks to it. Otherwise you'll find you'll be painting all day. So I've already sealed this one, so I'm just going to start on and paint that one.
So we have two different types of sticks today, just to show you what you can use. There's just the regular plain, or there's this fancy coloured ones. Now the fancy coloured ones do colour run when you add glue, so it's up to you what you use, but really these will do just as well. But I've used coloured ones, so I'll continue with coloured ones because I like to keep patterns. So I'll move these out of the way. So first off, we're going to make the base, which looks like this on the back and this on the front. So you need 8 sticks, any colour, and line them up in a row. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And try and make them square. And then you're going to put a little bit of glue. We could go on that one, that's wonky. We're going to put some glue directly on to the sticks, just like that, a little line. So we're going to get a little bit messy, but don't worry about that, you can always wash your hands. Oh, it's stuck together already. And then we're going to pop one on there, like that. And then on the other side, like that. And that is the base done, it just dries like that. So we'll just push that to one side for now, and now we'll start doing the frame. So again, you need a square, and you'll work this out with your shape and your size of your sticks. And it's going to be like this, and it's going to be layered on top of each other. So you just need a little bit of glue on each bit like that, and then just press it down. Doesn't have to be perfect, it can be a little bit wonky, a little bit retro. We can always square it up a little bit later on. Okay, and then again, any colours if you're using coloured ones or plain ones. You could even paint them after you've done it if you really wanted to. How are you coming on with your painting?
Not too bad. This is the first coat. Obviously you can still see we need to paint all of this one fully and then put another coat on the top just to block it out so you can only see the paint and not what's been in the carton. Once you've done that, it will need to dry before you can put your second coat on. You may want to put something on the table just to stop it getting too messy and your parents not liking the mess, and then you can just put it in the bin.
As you can see, I'm just layering and layering, and it just makes a little frame. In fact, you could probably use these frames for other things if you wanted to, if you put them on some cardboard first. Like a little shelving unit for your toys or pictures, photo frames. So you don't need too many, it's up to you how big you build this. And it is going to be a bit wobbly and a bit rickety at the moment because the glue's wet and we're just piling on glue. If you feel that you would prefer to use a glue spreader to not get it on your hands, you can. But I've just found after doing that one, that the more glue, really the better. Plus, who doesn't love glue? Straighten that up a little bit so it looks more tidy. See that there? I'll move it over so you can see. So it's a little bit like a square frame. On this bit here, we're just going to glue that and stick it on there like so, and then turn it upside down. So we've got somewhere to put our seeds. So it's no good having a bird feeder if we can't put any seeds in. I've cut one of these in half for this one to make the perch, as you can see at the back, just because I don't think any birds have tiny feet that would be able to balance on just that one. So I've made it a little bit wider for them because we're going to feed and fatten them up. So just try and cut it in half if you can. If you can't cut it, because the scissors aren't very good like these ones, you can just snap them. Beware of the sharp edges with splinters when you do that. How are you getting on?
So that's me with my first coat done. So I'm just going to leave that to dry now, and then we can add another coat. So I'm going to start with this one. So this one has had 2 coats of paint. So next we need to mark out our design so we can get the seed in, and then just some wings for the owl. You may need your parents or grown-up to help you with this, as it is quite tricky to do. And I have used a craft knife to start off, which are very sharp, so obviously you're better with a grown-up to help you do that. So I've marked as you can see, I've marked my front in pencil there, just to make sure we can get that right. And then I've just marked the wings on, so I'm just going to cut those out now. As you can see, the paint came off earlier, so once you've cut it out, you can just put some extra paint on and leave it to dry. How are you getting on, Jack?
I'm just
like
sticking. Yeah, I'm just sticking on my bird feet. You're gonna. Oh no, it's falling to pieces. Really, we should wait till it's all dried before we put the bottom on, because obviously it doesn't work that well. So you would need to leave it to dry, but as you can see, we've now got the little feet on the bottom. If you were feeling that you couldn't do that, you could also put them through, once it's dry, through the layers. They do fit quite nicely, instead of putting on an extra bottom bit, depending on how many sticks you've actually got. So we'll push that again, we'll push that to one side. So we want it hanging, we want the birds to be able to actually use this, because why make it if they're not going to use it? So we've added some string to each of the corners. Angela's put some on her bird as well. And it depends where you're going to put it to how long you want the string and how good you are at tying knots. You can either do a little knot like this and just push everything through. You just do a very simple knot, and then when you get 4 together you can tie it round. And this is a bit tricky when it gets dry because of the thickness of our string. You could use anything, an elastic band or cotton, anything that you've got around. That.
While you're doing your string, Jack, I'll just show what I've done. So I've cut the front out so we can get our seed in, and we've got the sides, the wings there. So both wings, so we're ready to go with our owl's face. To do the eyes, we've got some large googly eyes which look really good for our owl. And just to emphasise them a bit more, I'm just going to cut some card out to put the eyes on top of the card. So I'm going to cut those out now.
The owl looks lovely.
Thank you.
So once we've tied all 4 round, you'll have 4 random bits of string. You'll put them together in the middle, which will create a teepee. Then we'd do that. And then once they're all together, tie them in a knot, just like you would tie in your shoelaces. And then that will hang on any branch that you might have. And that's the bird table done. Obviously we could add some seed. We'll add some seed, we'll make it look nice. Not that we have any birds in the centre, we're not allowed them, you know. But it holds quite nicely. The seed, and then the bird would come along, take the seeds if it wanted, or look at them and say, that's not expensive enough for me, and then fly away. I've noticed that while Angela's not got any googly eyes on it, looks sort of like a brown minion with its mouth open. But that's cool anyway. If you wanted a minion birdhouse, you could just paint it yellow.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be an owl. You could, you know, choose a design, anything really. I've seen them where they're like a little house, and you can add different pieces so it looks like a house. There we go. Obviously, like Jack said, this glue does take a while to dry, so the black card is moving about. So there, it is starting to look like an owl. So we're just going to curl those out a minute. There we go. So then we just need to, obviously, we've got our nose on here and some eyebrows and just like all the markings. But in addition to that, you could use things like, you could add some feathers to it or anything you've got laying about, any bits of wool, just anything really. Or you can use the milk bottle tops for your eyes, just different things like in your recycling that we have. This is our finished one. I'm going to put some bird seed in this. So the only thing to say is once you've done all this, you're probably best to cover it in PVA. It just makes it waterproof paint. It's not going to come off then, and to make it usable when it's outside. Obviously we don't get that good weather here, so we can just hang this up either on a tree or from a bed table, and hopefully the birds will come in. You can also put a little slit in like Jack has done. You can like put a couple of lolly sticks for the birds to perch on there so they can get in. As Jack said, you can look on the internet and find many different designs to use from our recycling. Anything you've got, you can just have a go, or you can always start again, find some more recycling and have a go.
So thanks very much for joining us today with our crafts. We hope you are able to make some. If you want to show us, we have the hub events at hartlepool.gov.uk. We'd love to see some of your creations. If not, these are some of the things that you can make. Thanks very much for your time.